All right, here's one that gets a little bit more tricky because it is in the format of a word problem. Again, anytime you have a word problem, I need you to start looking at the last question right here and see what it's asking for, so then you know what to go back and look for. What is the range, which we know is the y, of the function of this situation? Well, if you look here, they gave me a function already. I could go type that in the calculator, but let's see what they said. The number of ferry boat trips F of C needed to transport C cars in one day can be found using this function. There are no more than 5,000 cars transported by a ferry boat daily. What is the range of this function? So they gave me an input and they're looking for the output. So I could very well go to the calculator, home, new document, save changes, no, add a graph, control divide, x, I have to change the c to an x over 20. So the number of cars divided by 20. And they said there's 5,000 cars. So menu, trace, graph trace. And I have 5,000 cars going in. So that's 250. Again, they gave me input. I'm looking for output, or I'm looking for the range. So that's 250. So there's no more than this. So it's got to be less than 250. The set of all integers greater than or equal to 5,000. No. That's the domain. The set of all integers greater than or equal to 250. It's not greater than 250 because it says no more than. And the set of all integers from 0 to 250. So the least would be 0, and then up to 250. There's your answer. Okay, here's one for you to try on your own. Now this one, they often like to put one on here. They'll give you some graph of a real world situation. Anytime I have this graph, I want to look at the sides. This is the distance from the recreation center, and this is time. And then I always just pick a point randomly, 8. And so I say after 8 minutes, don't really like 8, but we'll pick it there. In between, I'm 6.5 meters from the recreation center. Okay, so after 8 minutes, I'm 6.5 meters from the recreation center. So I just use the two sides to help me understand what does this graph mean. So it says, what is the range? The range is the height. What's the lowest point? The lowest point's over here at 0. What's the highest point? 9. So I should be looking for something that has 0 and 9. This has 0 and 28. That's out. 0 and 9. That looks good. All real numbers less than 28. No, that's out. All real numbers less than or equal to 9. Okay, so it's between B and D. All real numbers greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9. So anything greater than 0 and anything less than 9. That makes sense, right? And so again, that's how we write it, from 0 to 9. Y, less than or equal to, and less than or equal to. And so that's how we say it. All real numbers greater than or equal to 0 is going up from here, and less than or equal to 9 is going down from here. So it's everything in between. So B is the correct answer.